Hi, I'm Will Augustus. Welcome to my channel. Peep the vibe, Thanks for joining me. I'm also known as the Afro Sapien. I'm out here on these internet streets, here to talk about transitioning. Because I don't see too many black femmes talking about it. I want to just have more types of content out there. I'm a musician. I'm a rapper and a singer. And I've got a bunch of stuff out there under Willie Dustus, pre-transition. I'm branching out. Finally doing some stuff that I've always wanted to do. So I figured I'd do these little transition free-form vlog. But whatever I want to talk about, I don't know. People just do that in vlogs. I'm gonna do maybe a little commentary. I don't know what making YouTube videos is like sitting here. This is the first time. So maybe I'll change my mind, I guess. But I know I want to do other types of content besides this, where I'm probably just gonna do a bunch of jump cuts and throw this up, I want it to be about establishing a Afro Sapien ecosystem. Like I said, it's day 4 of hormone therapy. That's like a milestone I want to commemorate. I kind of want these to be journals. And I want to remember this. What I would like to remember about it, if anything, is that day 4. I'm sure nothing's really happening. I feel the same, except I don't. I feel like I took control of something in my life, and I do feel like more valid as a woman for some reason already. So we'll see where we go with those with that. I guess it makes sense. They'll get funny looks sometimes when people are clearly clocking me, but I've felt better. I'm sitting here doing this. I really thought I would never do it. It's like stuff like that. It's like even my time management's felt easier to do. And it's only been 4 days, so we'll see where it goes. But so far, it feels really good. And I'm really optimistic and pleasantly surprised by how, even if some things have been a little wonky, they worked out. I went out of my way to find the most trans-friendly program I could, and I hope I can pay for it. I didn't know how my pharmacy was going to act, and they were kind of being a little funny in the drive-thru, but I just came inside and it worked out. So we'll see where that goes from here, besties, friends, weirdos, NBs. I can put up with some so I was like, okay, y'all said it would be here today though. I just went inside and was like, I've got some questions, and then suddenly they had my T-blockers. So, a lot of the stuff that's been weird, I guess, or anything, my experience day 4 of hormones is basically been nothing new, but some newfound, determination and vigor, because, all the other stuff, going out in public, being visibly trans, I guess, is the same. But I do feel the same in that, I feel like I can tell when people can tell when I'm being clocked, cunty. Look, and so that's a thing. My experience is I recently lost my job because I quit fired. Don't cuss your boss out. You want to keep your job. That's my advice to y'all. My job was not working. It was, I would argue, a toxic environment, and not even because, let me be clear, not even because I want to shade anybody who's still working there. It was. But something I was thinking about, because I kind of thought it was because I was the token black person, because it definitely seemed like a lot of the friction. I've been familiar with that as a black girl, a black dude most of my life, right? Definitely kind of felt that baggage of when you end up the only black person in a workplace or in a place, in a group, doing group work in college, and you're like, ah, shit. or whatnot. I went to a predominantly white university though, so that's gonna come up, I'm sure. So that had, as far as my useness to the situation, that has a lot to do with it. I spent plenty of time around this. You think you can ride that shit out, but it came to a head for me. I was wrong about being able to ride that out. Like, okay, no, I'm an angry motherfucker. And that came to this head, and I lots of people in my life were like, maybe you should just not work this job anymore. But I was like really feeling hopeless, and that was the best I could do. So I felt like I needed to stay there and really try to do these other side hustles that now I have no choice but to really do, or else I'm gonna not have any money. But the thing that I was thinking about, because my workplace was mostly accepting of the trans stuff, and so it never occurred to me that there was any friction happening because of that. But when I look back, not so much as I don't know. Just kind of wonder, because I've definitely, Jim Stephanie Sterling put a video out today about Bethesda and their treatment of a certain employee who put out like a 4-hour video about their treatment at Bethesda HR's hands, because when they came out as trans, they flipped the script on her. I don't know if that happened to me, because I worked at like a local spot. We didn't have HR. It was a local store, a small place. And I absolutely don't think it changed anyone but the owner's perspective of me. But I do think I saw potentially some ways maybe the owner was switching up the treatment of me that I didn't. I was just like, oh yeah, because I can't say that on YouTube, I'm a ninja. But maybe it's not that. And I wonder, I put it to you guys who are watching this, I hope if you're trans and black especially, what's it been like for you? Talk about it in the comments. I want to know. I want to respond. I'll tell you what it's been like for me in more detail. Because it definitely didn't help me be seen as convenient. It's interesting. I would have thought I would have been seen as less aggressive, but like there was times where I was trying to be soft, and it got seen as more aggressive, or not as more aggressive, but like perceived as sort of like a lie I was trying to pull over on them. It felt like they didn't believe the performance I was giving. And I'm definitely curious about you guys' experiences. What Stephanie Surley was talking about in that video. If you watch the video, she makes the larger point about how places use plausible deniability to push out trans employees, and it's kind of just a thing. If you have trans people in your life, you probably know about that phenomena. And I do. Not because I explicitly the only one who had the Bethesda situation happen to them, because I know people work in the service industry and stuff, but like variations on that type of theme. And my workplace was super trans inclusive in the scheme of things. There were some weird microaggressions when I look back. So, like I say, curious about you guys' experiences. Don't know if hormone therapy would have impacted that. The day I got fired, quit, cussed my manager out, I got my hormone prescription, which I didn't, it's still informed consent in my state so far, but that was a surprise to me. I didn't know what to expect. So I struggle with doing things I need to do for myself sometimes, especially on a day like that where I really felt like I didn't deserve it. And that's why I'm doing this now. I'm tired of doing masochistic things to myself, like, I'm gonna put this out there, and if nobody watches it, that's fine, but maybe somebody will find this, and maybe I will give somebody out there a little bit of support. Like, help. It's nice. I typed, transition vlogs into YouTube, and they're like mostly people from 10 years ago doing it, because I think YouTube is probably hard on us, and I'm like not down with that. I am going to use my relative light skin privilege for something. I guess it's going to be out here on YouTube, and if the algorithm doesn't do anything for me, that's fine. I don't need these YouTube videos to blow up anyway. I'm doing this for me. My other YouTube videos I'll be doing because I want them to blow up, I guess. These are just going to be the fluff pieces I try to put out once a week. Maybe once every 2 weeks. Like I said, I'm really just trying to talk at the camera and then jump cut all this shit, right? And throw it up. These are just like transition vlogs, but that's another main idea of the episode, kids. Like, I wouldn't advise doing it like that, if you're in this situation. Maybe just take a step back when a job is toxic, and if you're trying to coast, really evaluate the strength of your temper against how long you're trying to coast. I wasn't making plans like that. I was just like crossing my fingers and hoping something would get better. And that's one thing that getting hormones has made me feel radically different about. And that's why I want to do this, because let's see where I'm at in a week. I'm about to have puberty mood swings ostensibly, but I have mood swings already. So I want to give myself this out, and this easy, natural one where it doesn't have to be weird, and I it's good for me too, but I also want to be there for others. The internet gives me this unique window to you guys, so hopefully can give somebody a little strength to know that they're not the only person out there like them in their little community, because I'm from a small town and I know how it is to be looking for an example of someone living, like, brave enough to live the way you want to live. Just want to be able to do this for me. So, mostly. And then maybe it could be worth something to you. Yeah, I said I'm a musician. I'm gonna throw my handles up here, my Instagram stuff, my threads, my Twitter, all that jazz, my links. I'm about to go to a jam, I think, at this local club, glorified bar. It's like a sandwich shop. Place is goofy. I have mixed feelings about it. But I'm about to go over there, show my face. Feeling really good. Trying not to feel like I don't deserve to feel good because I made a mistake. I mean, honestly, a series of mistakes in different ways. That job had crushed my spirit. I haven't put music out since I started that job, and I didn't even realize it until the other day. Like, the way it's like crushed my spirit so fucking corny, but like really, I wasn't able to muster up the energy I needed to believe in myself or something. Like, that sounds dumb too, maybe? I'm gonna watch that one back. Like, my self-esteem was being lowered by the job, perhaps more King's English. And I didn't realize it, I guess. I thought it was just me. I don't want to put that on the... It seems unfair. Because even with the shit that beef I have with my coworkers, some of them, and my manager, I don't know if I want to be like, yeah, they didn't bully me. There's a Mean Girls vibe there. But service industry jobs, even if you're like built for them and you could put up with it on the day to day, I think they're gonna take something out of you, maybe. And I think I just had this, like, I've changed. I started this job in the middle of the pandemic, and I changed so much. Not to mention the transitioning stuff. I don't think I was able to process what I'm doing right now there, and it just felt like I was just a piece of shit, because I was a barista. Baristas like just shit sometimes. There were a lot of good regulars there. Shout out to the good regulars. If anybody who knows me watches this, shout out to the good regulars. You know who you are. If you have to wonder, you're probably a good regular, but if you have to wonder too hard, no. You're not. If we were rude to you, no. I know my thoughts will evolve on this over time as I get to, because I got the time right now to see how I've been changing. I'm finishing mixes up, like, okay, I'm gonna put these mixes out, you know, and like being like, okay, what was I thinking about when I was agonizing over these mixes, thinking they weren't worth anything? And I don't know. I don't remember, just that like they weren't good enough and that I was upset about it. You know, I remember that. And that's it. So, at any rate, I guess it's good to recognize that and be in a better place. You know, I'm looking for a therapist because it's something I think is important for me in general, but also going through my transition right now. And affording it is this whole other Donahue show, but I have access to a couple hopeful, like, part-time money where I'll make it work. You know, who knows what this might turn into. I'm gonna throw my links up here. They're probably gonna be jump cut together. I'm talking after I thought I was ending the video, which is gonna be a hallmark of these. Christ. Yeah, this is probably done. This should be done. I've been going for 24 minutes. I can talk to myself for 24 minutes. I have 2 points on my sticky note. Like, this is an introductory video, really. This is just like, man, it's day 4. I think my mood is better. I feel good. So weirdly good.